library friends. This is Miss Cindy from the Crown Point Community Library, and today I'm going to be bringing the library into your home with a STEAM activity to go. So I hope you've been coming to the library, and I hope that you've signed up for summer reading. I hope that you're reading good books, and I hope that you've been doing a lot of our summer reading to go activity kits. I hope that this is I hope that you've had done other STEAM challenges, and if you don't remember, STEAM is science, technology, engineering, art, and math, and how we put them all together to challenge our brain and help us to learn. So I would want to remind you that our summer reading theme is Imagine Your Story. And if you've been following along, you know that every week we highlight a different type of story. So this week, we're all about mermaids and pirates. So matey, we're going to be talking about pirates today. And your challenge this week is going to be a pirate challenge. So come on along and let's find out about pirates. This is a poem book that is found in our nonfiction section, and it's got a whole bunch of different poems about pirates. And I am not going to read the whole book because there's a lot of different poems in here, and I want to kind of get on with what our challenge is going to be. So I'm going to read an introduction at the beginning of the book. I'm going to read a couple poems and then read you the closing part of the book. And if you'd like to check the book out, you're welcome to pick it up, to put it on hold, check it out, and read the rest of the poems yourself. So this is Pirates. It's by David L. Harrison. And it is a collection of poems. Oops, I like the illustrations in there. It's illustrated by Dan Burr. So Pirates. There's a warning, pirates ahead. Real pirates didn't hide from crocodiles like Captain Hook did in Peter Pan. They didn't sing and dance on stage like the pretend ones in the comic opera, The Pirates of Penzance. Real pirates robbed people. They looted, burned, and plundered ships, and people often died. Many books and movies and plays make pirates seem like heroes. Real pirates were never heroes. They were thieves through and through, pledged loyalty only to themselves. Each crew worked out rules of behavior that every man swore an oath to live by. Punishment for breaking rules was brutal. A man could be flogged, shot, or marooned on an island. The crew elected their captain, and if they didn't like the job he was doing, they replaced him with another. Battle injuries were common and frequently fatal. Often the only man on board to treat the wounded was a carpenter. Men who lost an eye or a limb were paid for first before the booty was shared. After that, every man got an equal part, except for the captain, quartermaster, boatswain, and master gunner. They received extra, but no one got more than 2 shares. If captured, pirates faced hanging or life in prison, where death from disease was nearly certain. So that's the introduction. Let me read to you. This poem is called Ship's Rules. You've joined the pirate brotherhood, let no man here forget it. If you do, I promise you, you'll live, if you live to regret it. The penalty for stealing mates is a flogging with a whip. Keep a secret behind our backs and we'll put you off the ship. Don't even think of mutiny, I promise you'll be shot and thrown to feed the hungry sharks, still breathing like as not. Lose an arm, we'll pay you well for suffering you'll endure. We share our loot in equal parts, but mine is 2 of yours. Mates, you must obey these rules, let no man here forget it. If you do, I promise you, you'll live, if you live to regret it. Here's another one that I'm going to share. This one's called Gentleman on the Beach. You can see the picture. This is a fun book. Gentleman on the Beach. Tempers, tempers, gentlemen. Every man will get his share. Put away your knives and swords. Every pirate here is fair. Are we not a brotherhood? We swore an oath to make that clear. We'll split the booty fair and square. No one needs a pistol here. When we're done, I'll hide my share and draw a map to mark the spot. If you think to follow me, gentlemen, I recommend you not. It's Gentleman on the Beach. And not all of the poems, I chose the 2 that rhyme, but not all the poems in here rhyme. Poems don't have to rhyme. But it goes through, this one's called Captured. Farewell, about what happens after they're captured. And then I'm going to read a little bit about the end, from the end of the book. This is some information about here's how it was. So now you think you know pirates, eh? Well, there's plenty more I could tell you. We weren't a pretty lot. But not everything you've heard about us is true. Make our victims walk the plank? Not so. We weren't always gentle with our captives, that's true enough, but making them walk the plank was not in our bag of dirty tricks. We did love to party. One lucky crew came home with 260,000 pieces of 8. That's a fortune. A man could live like a king forever with that much wealth. Guess how long it took those jolly lads to squander every last piece? 3 weeks. What can I say? That's the pirate's way. We'd steal anything. If we needed it or could sell it, we took it. Supplies, medicines, tools, cable, rum, spare sails, cotton slaves, anything else that caught our fancy. Gold and silver was best, of course. Pieces of 8 were silver coins worth about $23 in your money today. A handful of gold doubloons, that was a small fortune. Life was dangerous, not for the old or timid. We averaged 27 years old. Few of us ever married. Some pirates were women disguised as men. Mary Read and Anne Bonny fought like men, swore like them too. When Mary and Anne were captured, they were sentenced to hang, just like men. A pirate's biggest problem was staying alive. Scurvy and diseases probably killed more of us than all of our battles combined. Most of us didn't make it as pirates for more than 2 or 3 years, maybe 4. Captain Kidd, he only lasted from 1697 to 1701. Blackbeard, only 1716 to 1718. Calico Jack, 1718 to 1720. Bartholomew Roberts, he plundered from 1719 to 1722. People today make movies about pirates sailing around in fancy ships. Ha! Real pirate ships were usually crowded and smelly and stank of livestock. Chicken coops, tar, rotting wood, filthy water, and manure. Some of our ships had oars as well as sails, so we could attack on windless days. And sometimes we needed those oars to get away quickly. Everybody has heard of Blackbeard, but the truth is that that rascal plundered only about 20 ships. Bartholomew Roberts, now there was a pirate. He and his crew took 400 ships during his career. But it was Captain Henry Every who made one of the richest hauls in history. Gold, silver, and jewels worth more than $100 million today. Every was the only major pirate captain to retire and disappear with his stolen riches. In our day, we pirates crisscrossed the Caribbean Sea, 2,000 miles east and west and 1,500 miles north and south. In 1720, there were about 2,000 of us, but times changed. By 1726, only 200 or so of us were left. More than 400 pirates were hanged. Plenty of others died in prison. The glory days of pirates was over. So that is the book Pirates. Like I said, that is available at the library. Now I'd like to explain what our challenge is going to be. So hopefully you came by the library and you picked up your bag. This is our pirate challenge. And if you've done this before, you know what it's like. On the back is a list of what our challenges are going to be. And then inside you'll find all the supplies you need to complete the challenge. So what are we going to do today? Well, what you'll find in your bag, you are going to pull out a piece of gold. Obviously it's not real gold, but we're going to pretend it's real gold. We're going to pretend it's really valuable because pirates like gold. You're going to pull out a tea bag. Seems kind of odd. I'll explain to you what you're going to do with that. There will be a red string, a piece of paper, and a piece of aluminum foil. So you actually have 2 challenges. You have 2 challenges this week, Challenge 1 and Challenge 2. Challenge 1, you are going to use the foil. And it's your job to take this foil. You can only use the foil, no tape, nothing else. Only this piece of foil. You can't add to it. You can cut it if you want to, but you can't add anything else to it. No other details, okay? But you could cut it into pieces and then kind of put them back together, because you know how foil, you can kind of fold it together. But your job is going to be take this piece of foil and make it into a boat. So you can decide how you want to design your boat, but you want to try to create a boat that can hold the most weight possible. And you're gonna test your boat out. You can test it out in a sink. You can put some water in like your kitchen sink. You can test it out in a bathtub. You can test it out in a bucket, any type of, in a bowl. It doesn't really matter. It just has to be something that's big enough that your boat can float in it. So you're gonna put water in there. You're gonna put your ship in there, your boat, and you're gonna see if it will float. If it floats, the next part of your challenge is to rummage through your room and find as many coins as you can. All that loose pocket change, if you ask your parents, they could probably help you and give you some more. And see how much money your boat can hold. How much is your boat worth in coins? And you'll determine that by putting those coins on there and keep putting them on until your boat takes on water and sinks. Once your boat sinks, then you can count the money that you put on there and see how much you came up with. So that's challenge number 1, is to build a ship. Pirate challenge number 2 is to create a treasure map. And to do that, you're going to take your piece of paper and you're going to take your tea bag. This is where our tea bag comes in, because treasure maps tend to look old, right? And so we want to make this paper look older than what it is. Right now it's nice and white and pretty, and I want to change it and make it look kind of weathered and old looking. So I did this ahead of time just because you are going to have drying time in there. So this is my piece of paper that I took the tea bag and I stained it. I stained it to make it look like it is weathered or older. And the way you're going to do that, you're just going to take some water. You're going to take your tea bag. You're going to dip your tea bag into the water. Let those tea leaves that are inside there get nice and wet. Okay, and then tea is brown in color. Let me put this camera down a little bit. All right, it's brown in color. So I can, if I just dab this onto there, or I can kind of paint it on. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just dabbing on that brown color onto my paper. Let me show you. See how it looks wet because of the way the camera is, but it's gonna, when it dries, it's going to be brown and it will look like old paper. You can also take water and put your tea bag in it and let it sit for a little while so that the water becomes brown, and then take your paper and submerge it into there. That's another way, but this was a little bit easier because it just was a lot of dabbing. So you want to take and make your paper nice and old looking. You can even crumple it up and open it back up. So again, it has that weathered pirate treasure map look to it. And then you're going to take a magic marker or a Sharpie, and you will go ahead and draw your treasure map. Now, how are you going to know where to draw? What you're going to do, the next step is take this gold coin, take it, and you can do this outside, you can do it inside, doesn't matter, but you're going to hide it somewhere. So you're going to decide where you're going to hide it. And then you are going to, so wherever you hide it, that's that X. You know how X marks the spot? So the X is going to be where the treasure is. So on your map, you will put an X wherever you hid this gold coin. And then you're going to put your lines that are going to show where a person has to go to find it. So if you're outside, you may put something like a tree, or maybe you have a fire pit, so you might want to put that and then just kind of show the direction. So if you started, maybe the start would be your back porch, and that would be where you start, and then how many steps, or how many, you can do like little dotted lines, or how many steps you have to take, or it could just be an object, like there's the swing set, so that's where you're going to turn to the right, and then finally where the treasure would be, and then see if the person can see if somebody can find your treasure. If you do it in the house, you do the same thing. It could be you're going to start at the front door, and maybe here's where the sofa is, and this is the kitchen table, or the bathroom's over here. And you can put the lines and somehow draw those images. And then, once you get it ready, so you're going to do your paper, and you can roll it up until it looks like a nice treasure map. Take your red string, tie it up, tie up your treasure map, hide your gold coin, and then give this to somebody and see if they can find the treasure. You could leave this for maybe a brother or a sister, leave it outside their room so that they could find it and be like, oh, what is this? And when they open it up, they'll be like, oh my gosh, it's a treasure map. Let me see if I can find the treasure. have fun with it. See what you can do. Enjoy it. See how many different places you can hide. You can hide the treasure. You can use more tea bags and make more maps. You can add to the treasure and bury other things. Whatever you want to do, but have fun with it. So I hope that you will join me next week for our next STEAM activity. And remember, you can always check out our library website, crownpointlibrary.org. You can also find more videos on our YouTube channel, and you can stop in the library and say hi. Take care.